Hey everybody, it's Rob with Cherry City Guns and Ammo, and today we're taking a look at a new AR build. And this is a kit that was sent to me by Delta Team Tactical, and it's chambered in 6mm arc. Stick around. Alright, yes, this was sent to me by Delta Team Tactical. I paid nothing for this build kit. I did have to provide the lower receiver, and I put the scope on it. And everybody always asks about the scope. This is a super budget scope. This is a Vortex Sonora 4-12 by 44 with the Vortex 2-inch offset cantilever mount. If you're not familiar with it, and I'm just telling you this, I'm not getting paid for it. I've got no relationship with Palmetto State Armory. It's just an incredible deal that I have bought for several budget builds. This is a $129 combo when they have it in stock. And they run out of stock quickly because people buy these up. The cantilever scope mount, if you buy it by itself, it's $100. The scope by itself is $100. So it's $200, but they sell this combo for $129. They've been selling at that price point for a really long time. And it's proven to be, decent for what it is for the price point. And like I said, I've used it on several of these budget builds. Anyway, so I provided the optic and I provided the strip lower receiver. Delta Team Tactical sent me the fully assembled upper, and then all the lower components I assembled myself, but they sent them to me. Trigger pack, all the lower trigger parts, buffer tube, buffer stock, all that stuff was provided by Delta Team Tactical. That's the only relationship I have with them. I'm not being paid for my review. They sent me the build kit for free. I do the review for free, and that is it. And I also made it very clear to them that I do reviews and I'm 100% honest, because as a consumer myself, I want to see honest reviews. I will tell you, I've had several conversations with several fellow gun YouTubers that have told me that they think it's a bad idea to put out a negative review, and that they've shot reviews, and when they've been negative, they just have not published them and sent them back to the manufacturer. I will never do that. Never, ever, ever, ever. I think that is doing your fellow consumers a disfavor, honestly. I watch reviews as a consumer before I purchase something, and I want to see the good and the bad so I can make an informed decision. If you're withholding a bad review, you're withholding information that somebody's trusting on you to provide to them. I think it's totally and completely wrong. A good company will make it right. It would maybe be different if a company sent me something for testing, as they're maybe working out the kinks on a product, and I would maybe not publish that and send them back my thoughts so they could correct it, if it was in a development type thing. But this is a gun they're selling. If you're selling the gun, I'm going to review it, and I'm going to be honest in my review, good, bad, or indifferent. Even if they were paying me, it would not change. And they said, well, maybe that'll spoil companies from working with you. Well, I don't want to work with those companies. If companies want me to hold back my review because it's not favorable for them, that's not the type of company I want to do business with. I don't want to work with them as a YouTuber. I don't want to buy from them as a consumer, because I feel like they're trying to withhold knowledge that should be available to everybody, especially consumers looking for that knowledge before spending their hard-earned money on something. So my reviews will always be 100% honest, good, bad, or indifferent. Anyway, this is about a $350 kit. I think they referred to this one as the Journeyman, although I've looked on their site lately and I haven't found the Journeyman. They've got a whole bunch of other 6-arc builds on their website with different names. And I think the difference is anytime they change a part, it's a different build name. And so maybe it's a different handguard, but it's still pretty much the same guts. It's an 18-inch barrel. It's a 1 7.5-inch twist. It is a Type 2 barrel. And what that means is it uses a Type 2 bolt, which anything that's like a 6mm arc or a 6.5 Grendel or 22 arc, any of those 7.62 by 39 based cartridges, they changed how the bolt was manufactured, and so the more modern ones are all considered Type 2. And you have to make sure if you're putting a Type 2 bolt with a Type 2 barrel, yada, yada, yada. Again, they sent me the upper pre-assembled, so I didn't have to do that. So I'm trusting that they put the right parts in, and so far it's been good. All right, enough talking. Let's do some shooting. Let me go load some more up. We'll do some goofing around, and then we're gonna go hit the bench and see what kind of groups we can get out of this. All right, before we start shooting, let's show what we're shooting. And this is just a 5-round magazine that I use for deer hunting. This is Hornady Black 105 grain boat tail hollow points. So far they've seemed to shoot pretty well for such a budget build. One thing that I have had a problem with, and this seems to be ammo specific, I'm not blaming the gun. I measured the amount of how far the firing pin protrudes through the bolt face, and that is in spec, so it's not a gun issue. I believe this is an ammunition issue, but there's a lot of these rounds from this Hornady Black that I've ended up punching the primers. So if you see a shot go off and there's an excessive amount of smoke coming out the ejection port, it's probably one of those pierced primers. I've shot this with some hand loads, and I have not pierced a single primer on a single hand load that I've loaded and shot through this. It has only been with this Hornady Black. When I do hand loads for these, I am loading it with Federal AR match primers. So that has been an issue, but again, I don't believe this to be gun specific. So let's go up here to our 60 yard. Right there. You can see we've got our blue 2/3 size silhouette, then a white 4-inch gong and a red 10-inch gong. Let's do the silhouette first. Now let's do the 10-inch, and let's do the 4-inch. Pretty stinking easy and 100% reliable. Let's jump out to 100 yards now. You can see on the far right side, we've got a white 2/3 size silhouette. One more round. I will tell you, this is one soft shooting rifle, and so far I have had zero feeding issues whatsoever. It has fed and extracted and ejected everything with 100% reliability. So that's good to see. Let's go sit down on the bench and see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this. Get our phone scope going here so you can see the targets. And you should see that pop up in your upper corner of your screen there. Right about, nope, not yet. Right about now. All right, I'm gonna zoom out just a touch. So let's go ahead and go up to the upper left target. I like the way that sounds. I don't know why, I just do. And I am a big fan of 5-round groups. If you've been a fan of the channel for any amount of time, you will know that. 3-round groups is for people that really like seeing good groups, but not necessarily an accurate representation, because in my experience, the second you go from a 3-shot group to a 5-shot group, things can change wildly. That's also why most companies who give a 1 MOA guarantee, I don't give a whole lot of thought to that, because if you read in the fine print, it says capable of a 3-shot group measuring 1 inch. So it's a 3-shot number 1, and it's not saying, it almost never refers to any type of reliability on that. It's just, it can shoot a 3-shot group that lands inside an inch. Not everyone, but it can do it. I don't really go along with that. So anyway, enough talking. Let's do some shooting. Again, we're going to that upper left target. And we're about 1.5 inches left of the bull. So this is actually a really good thing to see, to kind of illustrate my point. Number one, I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to adjust this about 2 inches to the right. So if you look at that group, there is 3 shots out of that 5 shots that would easily measure 1 inch. Quite easily. But then we have a flyer that went an inch to the right and a flyer that went an inch to the left. So what we're looking at there is probably about a 2.5 inch total group with 5 shots, with a 3-shot 1 inch group in there. Now when you're talking about ARs, you're talking about semi-autos, especially budget ones, you're going to be hard pressed to find something that shoots MOA, without a doubt. Although this would officially work for some companies, 1 MOA guarantee, just that first group. It's very common to find budget ARs that will not shoot better than about 2 MOA, and that's just how it is. Let's go to the right top target and shoot 2 5-shot groups so we have a little bit of a comparison here. That one's in the bowl. Okay. And that one, see, that one jumped up way high right. Boy, look at that string. I mean, we've got 2 that are touching at the bottom of the bowl, and then we just string up and to the right. Again, that's probably more like a 3-inch group. I've got 4 rounds left here. I'm going to slow down. I'm really going to take a lot of time. As a matter of fact, just for grins, I'm going to single feed these. I'm going to do a single feed 4-shot group. And we'll just go straight down from the last one, and we'll go to the middle right target. Don't look yet. Don't look yet. I went to look. I'm not looking. And we are empty. Alrighty. Well, that probably would have turned out better unless we had one that really was another flyer, but that's down to about maybe a little bit over 2 inches. But, you know, not bad considering. Budget build, sent to me for free, I'll take it. This would definitely be capable of deer hunting, especially here in Western Oregon where I live. You know, this 6mm arc, yeah, it's a small round, but it's all we would need for our little blacktail around here. We have small deer, we have these blacktail deer, and also a 2-inch gun is going to do fine in situations over here because the vast majority of my shots in Western Oregon on deer have been sub 100 yards. I've taken quite a few sub 50 yards, and this would do just fine. And it's a fairly light build. It'd be nice and handy, and I will probably do some deer hunting with this in the future. I was going to try deer hunt with it this year, but I had some other things going on, and I still got out and got a buck with a different AR, which actually I've showed on this video before. On this channel before. I can't talk today. Anyway, you know, for a fairly inexpensive build, and I think this was on Delta Team Tactical's website for like 350 bucks when they sent it to me because I was curious what the price point was on it. It'd be tough to do better for that price point. I mean, that really is a phenomenal price point. So I wouldn't hesitate to spend that kind of money on something that gets 2-inch groups at 100 yards with budget ammo. And this was, you know, $26 or something like that a box, which these days for rifle ammo is pretty inexpensive. I think I can definitely squeeze some more accuracy out of it with some of my hand loads. Actually, I have. I've gotten this to shoot about 1 1/4 inch groups with my hand loads. So it definitely is capable of better. And 1¼ inch at 100 yards with an AR is pretty good. They're never going to be as accurate as a bolt action rifle. So anytime you get down below 1.5 inches, you're doing pretty good with an AR. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to be a good shooter. We're just going to go ahead and keep playing with it, try a bunch of different loads, try a bunch of different bullets, different weights, different powders, and see what this really likes. But so far, we're just with this Hornady Black. It shows some good promise, and like I said, it's been 100% reliable in the feeding, extracting, ejecting, those things that can sometimes get a little difficult with some odd calibered ARs. So so far I'm pretty happy with this. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. Again, for the price point, I wouldn't hesitate to buy one of these one bit whatsoever. If you're looking for something more like a DMR type build, maybe this isn't the one for you. But for some screwing around and for some medium range deer hunting, I think this would be fantastic. And I'm going to use it that way. Anyway, thanks to Delta Team for sending this out to me. I really like it a lot. I've had some fun with it so far. I'm going to keep having fun with it. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.